Yes.
Sill.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on govsradio.com and Facebook Live. Hello, everyone. This is the show we take two comedians and put them head-to-head in the matchups of comedy competitions to see which one has what it takes and which one has what it ain't. I'm your host, Don Sill, and now let's meet our judges. Our first judge to my right comes straight out of Brooklyn. He is a comedian, actor, and director known for Tune In Goonin', The Deplorables, and the Jersey Devils. He has the golden vocals and can sing sweet melodies all night long. He's Charles the Great Goonin'. What's up, Charles?
Thank you.
Yes.
Looking forward to judging others because it's Christmas time. You got to judge others. Going to be very tough. One of the contestants already gave me some of their gum, so 1 point for them.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that was me.
Our next judge to my left is a true Long Island comedy legend. He is a stand-up comedian actor who can be seen on Broad City, The Deuce, Orange is the New Black, and Blue Bloods, just to name a few. But what's really impressive is that he never spent a single day on jury duty. Say hello to the one and only Rob Falcone, everybody.
Thank you very much. You never said there was supposed to be singing. We got to sing, too? The other judges got a vocals he's going to do? I left my Jerry Vale albums at home. Why didn't you tell me?
Well,
I could have brought them in.
I thought
And
you
you
were
forgot
gonna
to
do
say
the-
Sopranos, for Christ's sake.
you're on the
I know it
Sopranos
was
also.
a small scene, but you don't have to leave it out of the credits. I mean, it's bad enough, for Christ's sakes, that I don't get recognized in the street anymore like I used to. But this is fun. I'm having a... Where's the hookers? You said there was going to be
they
hookers.
are. They're coming later. We
Okay.
ordered them.
I can hang meat in this room, too, for Christ's sake.
The hookers
One
are
thing
already
my
winning the
chestnuts won't be
competition.
doing is roasting. Yes.
Our third judge is Sally. Sally from Knock 'em
Sally.
Dead Radio on Monday through
everyone.
Friday, 11 to 1. She is the engineer extraordinaire, Sally O'Neill. What's up, Sally?
Sally,
Not a lot.
You
my
waiting on the
favorite
hookers?
Peanuts character.
I know. I'm from Peanuts.
Also, let's give a hand to the Gagoots. I don't know where he is, but the Gagoots, there he is, folks.
It's the Gagoots.
Benny Rizzuti is here, folks.
Benny
Gagoots,
Rizzuti.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, everybody?
Vowels in this room.
Almost a Christmas time. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we are happy to have you here, Gagoots. Thank you again, and it's going to be a fun holiday. Do you have any holiday plans?
I got lots of plans. I'm gonna make a nicer cannolis for Santa Claus.
Very good. He loves the
I make a good cannoli for Santa Claus,
Very good.
and
Don't forget to take the cannolis.
and leave with a gun.
That's it.
Leave it a gun.
He's dressed like a figure.
Rudolph, I gotta go.
What?
Were you in that too?
No, I wrote a lot of letters, but no.
All right. Can you help me get people? We want to get more Facebook followers. So if you're watching us on Facebook Live, please leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. And right now, we're going to meet our contestants. Hailing from Rego Park, Queens, our first contestant knows a thing or two about a thing or two. She's a little bit of chit and a little bit of chat. She's Chit Chat Wheeler, everybody. And our next contestant is a comedian straight out of East Massapequa and loves doing stand-up comedy more than she loves to actually stand. She rocks when she rolls. She's Dana McAllister.
Excellent.
How are you ladies doing today?
I'm great.
I think this is the first where we actually had two women going head-to-head. It's normally a man versus a woman or two.
I
Yeah.
requested that.
Upon Rob.
I needed you guys to heat this room up.
I don't think it's working.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad, too, because with the kind of bras you girls are wearing, I like it.
You like my
That-
It looks
I
like I'm
liked
wearing a bra.
I think he's talking to me. I'm sorry.
All right, can we wrap this up? I think we got other plans.
We're
So-
not the hookers, okay?
That's a point off. That's a point off already.
Dana.
I got to get my points somehow.
So, Chit Chat, we'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Is Chit Chat your God-given name?
No, my real name is Sheila, but I'll tell you the story to why I use Chit Chat. When I was getting married, I was buying my husband a hat for the wedding. And the woman I was buying a hat from said, well, what is your husband's last name? And she said, I said, Wheeler. And she starts laughing. She said, so your name is going to be Sheila Wheeler? I was like, oh, my God. I will never use that name.
Sheila
Why?
Wheeler.
It sings.
Yeah.
Oh, my. It sounds
Yeah, that's
like
the
a
name right
nursery
there.
rhyme. That's
It
the problem.
sings. Sheila Wheeler.
Now, chit-chat.
Yeah, that's very good. That sounds very
Well,
like home and down to earth.
Sheila-
I'm
Yes.
so glad it's
Sheila
on.
Wheeler
Yes.
is your secret identity, and at night you become Chit Chat.
Chit Chat.
That's what you got.
Let me see how I like that.
Is Chit Chat strictly your stage name, or is that the name you go by? All your
That's
friends
my
call you?
stage name.
Oh, okay.
I got that name from a friend of mine at work. He gives everybody nicknames. And I'm so bubbly in the morning. He called me Chit Chat. Well, yo, here you come. Here comes Chit Chat. And so when I became a comic, I was like, I'm going to use that name.
Did you ever try decaf?
No, I use espresso.
Okay.
I need all of that extra.
So you caffeinate up, and then
I sure
that's
do.
when the
Yeah.
vibe starts
I
going.
do
You
a
start.
double espresso every morning. And
That's
I
it. The
run around
rocket
office.
fuel and.
There you go.
I
I need it.
I hear you.
I have to work every day. That's a hard life.
Yes, my darling.
But, you know, if you got a couple of
That
dollars.
espresso is good
If
stuff.
you got a couple of dollars, we could work something out.
Yeah, well, with the name with Chit Chat, I thought there was a price tag that came along.
Did
Could be
you
my stripper name, too.
did you try out other names, Talkie Walkie, Gabby Wabby, before you got to
Chit
the?
Chat just sang.
It's just that was the one. Okay.
So to getting that nickname lead to the stand-up.
No, actually, I was doing the stand-up. I came to school here with John Schuson, and then I just wanted to use, I didn't want to use my real name. So they would call me Chit Chat, and I said, Chit Chat Wheeler sounds cute. So that's it.
I like it.
How much did Truson pay you to plug the show?
Nothing.
Okay.
Should I call them? I used your name in the show.
See that?
Let
You
me
could have got a
text
couple
them
extra
out.
bucks to do that. Now, Dana, you also have a pretty interesting story and background. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how did you become a stand-up comic?
Well, my name is Dana McAllister. God gave me that name. How did I get into stand-up? Well, I've been funny my whole life. Childhood trauma really molded me. But my friend Chris Cuff, she's a comedian. I went with her to go see her do open mic because I had just moved here from Connecticut, back here from Connecticut. And I went with her, and she signed me up, like, without telling me, like a jerk. So I went up there, and I told a story about... I have polio, so I just talked about that, which is funny enough. And
That's
then,
excellent, I think, that you did something like that.
Yep.
That's what I said when I got the disease too. I said, "Thank God."
Now you have
Here I
jokes.
am.
Comedian.
Now you have jokes. Yeah.
So I always say, you know, I didn't take the class, but God writes my jokes for me, and I just tell them because He's
That
really
takes courage. That's
puts-
excellent.
Thank you.
And you faced it head on. You took a negative and made it into a positive.
I mean, yeah, I could have killed myself. I couldn't climb to the rafters, so here I am doing comedy. That.
And how long you been doing comedy?
Well, since February. Doing stand-up since February.
Wow, so nearly a year in.
February.
Yeah.
Are you headlining?
Where? No.
How has comedy been therapeutic for you?
I mean, it keeps me from yelling at my boyfriend a lot. No.
Why?
I mean,
Because you're out of the club and he's at home.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I just write it out, and I don't want him to know that I'm talking about it. No. I mean, it saved me a lot for therapy. You know, I was able to push it back to a session
Yes,
every other
it
week
is
now.
wonderful
Yeah.
therapy, especially when you
My
have
my
that
therapist
inside of
doesn't
you.
like it, but
You're letting the monster out, which is good.
yeah, that's what Jordan Peterson always says.
When time's up, does the therapist give you the light and you have to get off?
He's like, Dana, all right,
flashlight.
hold on.
Yeah.
We'll put a bookmark in it. We'll see
You
you
know, a
tomorrow.
comic who's colorblind never gets off stage because he can't see the light.
Is that how that works?
That's your excuse next time.
Yeah, I can't see.
Yeah.
If I want more time, I just fall on the stage and I'll just stay there for 5 minutes.
Prop comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll call it that, sure.
Now, my question too is you guys we're getting ready to go into round one, which is the joke writing challenge, where we give you a premise and 4 words. Chit Chat, how was that when you got the words last night? Was it a tough thing to figure out a joke out of this, or did it come to you naturally?
It actually came naturally, and I was very surprised. It took me less than 5 minutes to come up with a joke. And then I was in a car with my girlfriend, and she goes, and I read it to her. I told her the joke. She said, "Did you write that last night?" I was like, "No, I just got the words. I did it just now." She was like, "Boy, you really missed your calling."
Wow, yeah. So you kind of turned that over relatively fast.
Yeah, and I stuck with that first joke that came to my head.
There you go.
And so that's what you guys are going to get.
First thought, best thought. I think that's what Kerouac said once.
Oh, then I
Not
should
directly
keep,
to me, but
I
he
should
said
keep
it.
that in mind because
Yeah.
I'm always changing stuff.
Yes, indeed. What do you think about something like that, Robin? Would that be a tough thing for you to do? If just get given a premise and 4 random words and have to turn it over into a joke?
Yes, it would, because I don't like being put on the spot that quickly, and I'm no good under pressure. That's why I was never a surgeon or an admiral in the Navy.
You just don't want need that pressure in your life?
Do you know, I'll tell you something. I think it's a great challenge, and I really have to say to you, I've never had that challenge put to me. I have had to write things, but I've had time to do them. And so I admire you for taking that. I think it's a wonderful concept.
Thank
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great concept.
And with you, Dana, when you got the
Oh, it took me
jokes-
all day. I did not have it that easy because, unfortunately, I really do like all my comedy's been focused on my handicap, and that's what I tell
So
tell
you had to
stories
think a little
about.
out of the box.
Yeah, so now I'm like, what the all
Right.
these 4 words? I'm playing Mad Libs, and I'm like,
So
I'm
you're
like, but I
saying
have
you-
a sentence.
You're
I
saying
don't
you
need-
tried harder than her.
I tried so much harder than her.
All
I don't
right.
settle for the first thought.
Do I get points for
Extra
that?
points for trying harder.
Really?
Let me write that down.
Oh, that's not fair.
Well, you haven't run out of gum
You
yet.
gave
have
him
you?
gum.
And you didn't work.
You could just
You
so
got
Benny
the
can
point.
Well, now we're
The
eating.
flavor's gone.
big number.
Would you like another piece? No.
Do we have a
flavor's
range
gone.
from 1 to 10?
Yep.
1
1 to 10.
All right, I'm ready for this.
So now, what I always like to ask our judges is to take a good look at our contestants and decide, just based off of. She's already bribing us with her
good.
gum.
See, that's just not right.
Kelly, some all take. No.
Just based off of first impression.
Yes.
Oh, crap.
What do you think so far, these two?
Well, I hate to be behind
Well-
chit chat when we go through a metal detector because it would take her 20 minutes to get everything off before that
I
baby
never
didn't
take them
ring.
off.
You must be
I
great
make
at the airline.
look.
People must love you when they're online.
No.
Hold it, this won't come off yet. Wait,
I go like
anybody
this.
got any
Wand me.
Do you
I let
really?
him touch everything.
Want me.
That's what I do.
Boy,
And you're married.
Yes.
It's a little arousing.
Yes, and I bet you're very large.
I
man,
just got
too.
my new
He's not
thoughts
that
for
big.
tonight.
Okay.
He knows
Well,
they're just
I'm
warming
very
me up for
impressed
later.
by the both of them. Although when I said to them that I can be bribed, none of them made the attempt. It was
She didn't have her
the
gum
story
on
of my
her.
life.
Well, Chit
Well,
Chat
he
gave
was
us
asking
gum.
for what we didn't want to
If
give.
we'd like.
Jet Cack, yes,
Yeah.
but you don't know where that gum has been.
It's been in my mouth so far.
Say something.
I didn't want.
Charles, what do you think so far? Just off first impression, just
they-
giving a good look.
They
at
both seem affable. Chit Chat obviously more generous. Obviously more giving, more wanting to win.
Chit Chat brought the
let's say.
pillows.
Yeah.
I need the W.
You know, she gave me gum and then said wand me. So I think
Dana, you have a tattoo. What does that say?
See, it says fighter, which
Fighter?
was it was such
Wow.
a bad choice. Yeah, it's great until you realize you have a limp and you look like a terrible UFC fighter.
So
It
you
really
lost.
wasn't thought out.
That's right. When you get older, it might stretch a little bit and turn into fodder.
There we go. It's a
Just,
win-win.
You know,
then.
there's some good that can come out of it.
Either way, it's a warning.
Yes.
I have a tattoo too.
I have
Oh,
7.
nice.
Wow. Okay,
That
you just
teacup
had to
there.
show me up.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't have gum on me.
Mine is Queen Bee.
Oh, very nice.
See, I purposely never got a tattoo because I wanted the option of being buried in a Jewish cemetery in case the Italian one didn't want me.
I'm getting a tattoo all over my body of myself, only taller. So watch out.
okay.
I'm the regular height soon.
There you go.
I'll make it big.
So are we ready for round one? I think we're gonna have Benny the Gagoots come in here to read the instructions for round one, everybody, and then we'll go over it. And here we go, folks.
Benny, you're making me hungry in that outfit now. For Christ's sake, you're
I'm aware of the menu. You
it's a
see.
garlic ball.
Zip up,
something,
I
for
can see your
Christ's
garlic
sake.
nuts.
Golly, don't mention the balls right now. Okay, round one. The drawing board. Every comedian should write their own material, and this round will test their joke writing skills like no other. Both comedians were tasked to write an original joke with a comedy premise and 4 key words that they received 24 hours prior to tonight's show. Judges will give their score based on originality, creativity, style, resourcefulness, and of course, funny.
All right, so now it's time to see your joke writing skills. Before we start to see who's going to go first, we'll have you guys do an old school rock, paper, scissors round. All right, just one and done. We'll
I'm
see.
good at this game.
All
I
right.
don't even know
Never
rock.
played
What
this
is
game
it?
before
Rock.
in my life.
Rock,
Paper.
paper, scissors.
So
Okay.
rock beats scissors, paper beats rock. I beat you, no matter what.
Wow,
Okay, so
there we
you
go.
go
The
Oh,
gauntlet
I'm
has been
playing.
thrown
I'm
down.
gonna give
Nothing
All right, are you guys ready?
beats rock.
So you go rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Okay, and
rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
And Dana wins, and Dana goes first with the joke writing challenge. The premise is, for the joke writing challenge, the premise is, I'm so broke. I'm so broke is the premise. The keywords are epidemic, warehouse, naval, and invention. That's epidemic, warehouse, naval, and invention. And here we go. Dana McAllister with her joke.
Clap, clap, clap. Hi. All right, so I'm so broke that this Christmas season I decided to take advantage of the opiate epidemic by selling out of my warehouse my new invention that hides drugs in navel oranges.
Very good. Very good.
Wait, I missed it. What?
You hide your drugs in navel oranges. I'm working on the patent.
Okay.
So while
Okay.
the judges deliberate and get their scores handy on the board, Dana, so what inspired that joke? Obviously, you went to the well there of your life.
I did, opiates have been a big part of my life. Actually, half of that joke was not even written down. So I changed from hiding drugs in your navel to navel oranges last minute.
Good.
'Cause you guys look like an orange kind of folk.
That's the decision.
Yeah,
for
that
both
was
from the
it.
navel. What do you think is funnier, navel or the orange navel? Navel oranges.
Nectarines.
The nectarines would have been the way
I
to go.
think that's a peach. I'm just
It's
saying.
just funnier to say nectarine.
So let's go with the scores. We'll start with you, Rob, and then we'll go with Goon, and then to
Okay,
Sally.
do I say it out?
Yeah, you can tell her your score and then give
Oh.
her a little critique.
All right, Dana, I gave you 7
Yay.
7 on the
Seven.
board from Rob Falcone.
because you kept in the type of material that you do. You used all the words, and I happen to like oranges.
I knew it was a good call.
Yes.
What do you got going in?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to be sort of decimal. Like I gave you 6.5.
Okay.
Nice, 6.5.
Now it had the words I'm just meaner, and and plus I apparently like nectarines. Now I was gonna give you a 6, but she corrected me, so I gave you an extra point.
You're-
See, the other person's not allowed to correct.
Thank
you.
Whatever.
Yeah. So you got
I
6
still
and a
love you.
Sally, what do you got for Dana McAllister's joke?
I will give you I'll give you a 6.5 also. Cool. Just so I don't have to add that extra
Just for
half
the
point,
math.
unless Benny's doing it.
I don't know who's keeping the
You
score.
guys are
at this
tough
point.
crowd.
Benny's got the score.
Yeah, I thought
Thank you.
I thought it was good. I think it's difficult to like bring words like that all together and
Yeah.
make a joke out of it. I thought it was like a clever writing thing. So yeah,
Thanks.
6.5.
And also, for those of you watching on Facebook Live, let us know your thoughts on Dana's joke. And as we move on now to Chit Chat Wheeler. Chit Chat again, I will go over it again for people just tuning in. The premise is I'm so broke. The keywords are epidemic, warehouse, naval, and invention. And you had to make a joke using that premise and those keywords. And here we go. Chit Chat Wheeler.
I'm so broke. I have to feed my family with the lint from my navel that caused an epidemic worse than Ebola. I had to use the leftover lint for an invention of a vaccine that I stored at BJ's warehouse, where I gave my hubby Lish a happy ending.
Oh, very nice. Very good.
Very good.
It's always good when it ends with a happy ending. All right, we'll start this time. We'll start with Goonan and go around the board. We'll go Goonan, Sally, and then Mr. Falcone.
Well, I was gonna give you a 7.5, but I didn't want Sally to have to do any
Yeah,
more
I
fancy
hate
math.
that.
So what I did is
rough,
I
man.
gave you a full 8.
Yay!
Wow,
Thank
Full
you,
8
thank
this
you,
time for
thank you.
talkie walkie. Because I liked the fact that you were having navel lint and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was
Because that was very visual and disgusting and perfect for Christmas time. I like around the Christmas time to discuss what's in the navel. You know,
Would you
I
like
remember
some?
Christmas time when we used to gather around and see what was in the navel, see what Santa left us. So it reminded me of that, and it ended in a happy ending. So you get the full
okay,
eight.
thank
Yeah.
you.
And you know you're really broke when you're resorting to the navel.
It's getting to that.
Yeah. Sally, what do you
Yeah, I
think?
thought it was clever. I thought it was clever, play on words. I liked how you presented it. You're comfortable and, because it's hard to do it in this room, with just like us staring at you rather than on stage. I thought you were great. I give you a 9.
Thank you.
Wow. Very nice. And Rob?
I didn't like it at all.
I'm not getting in the
I
back seat of your
actually,
car.
I gave you an 8 as well because I thought your delivery was great
Personality.
and your creativity was great. I thought, yeah, but I liked your delivery. You were very you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I agree
Very
with that.
good. So the scores are in. So now, guys, have you ever been? How broke have you ever been during the holidays?
I'm currently broke for the holidays. I'm currently broke for the holidays now. That's why I had you pick me up. 'Cause I couldn't get here all the way. I paid peak hour tickets for this shit.
You mean
this
we're
better
not
be
getting
funny.
paid for this?
You understand? That's why he picked me up. Are you kidding me? This outfit I have on right now, people think it's a nice outfit. I found it just laying around in abandoned OTB. And it's not my size. I can't make the knees. The knees are down here. So I'm not Polly Walnuts. I'm Polly Cashews.
I totally understand
It's
that.
a nice outfit. It really is.
It's pretty good for a
Yes,
regular
did you know
sized
that
person.
The Feast of San Gennaro is over, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And you're taking him home, right? Because I can't.
No, he did. No.
Who's
But
going to take
I
you
got
home?
it right. I got it
Because
right.
I can't bear the thought of you wandering around Long Island anymore. With,
Especially in this outfit.
Yeah, well, I think you look good in that.
They're gonna
you fit
think,
right in. You fit
you know
right
what
in.
it is? Because the knees are low, I look like a rat. You know what it is? If the knees were up higher, I wouldn't look like such a rat. And the Irishman just came out. I can't do that. So I'm currently broke. I'm sorry. I'm currently broke. Please send money to this place right now. I'll take garlic knots or whatever you
I
got.
can offer you some navel lint.
She's gonna give me some navel.
You can get some navel in from Chit Chat Wheeler. That'd be awesome.
Nice.
Do you have a pillow at home filled with navel?
Oh.
Well, I don't want to be too gross, but just before we came here, my husband sucked it all out.
Well,
Wow.
like body shots?
Wow. No wonder he was so
Well,
quiet
you know,
when I met him.
You know,
Cotton mouth now.
I'm not hungry anymore. It's,
Got cotton mouth.
that was better than a mint.
Wow, and he got cotton mouth. I like that.
That was good.
So, Rob, have you ever been? How broke have you ever been in your lifetime? Where, especially around the holidays, and what did you do to compensate?
Broke? Yes. I have been so broke that saltine crackers and ketchup went a long way.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. They were called hard pizzas. Yes. But we've all been there. I mean, but I've been broke, yes.
Yep, ramen noodle, 5 for $1.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll tell you.
That's why you.
That's
I was
Those
in
lifesavers.
Manhattan, and there's a pizza place on 38th Street and 8th Avenue, and the best pizza, and it's $1 a slice.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It is amazing. I said $1 a slice. I like this
Yeah,
place.
I'm never leaving.
My date thought I was kind of cutting corners. But I said it's good pizza, though. Yeah, she never brings up the grape soda I sponged for, though.
But it is important to try to get through those rough times, those rough patches of life, and figure out new ways and creative ways to kind of get out of that hole, especially during the holidays. And you got to get creative.
Do you know you get good material from being poor, and you become a lot more humble when you become rich after being poor. I have not hit that plateau yet, but I heard.
Say, what is that?
That's what you heard.
I heard. Yes.
Yeah, well, like I got all these kids, and I got to get them Christmas presents, and they all have.
How many children do you have?
I have 5.
You have 5
Cold.
children.
Yeah,
They
no-
all get
Yeah,
cold.
did you ever think of going to the movies once in a while? You don't have to stay home all
There
the
was
time.
nothing on TV.
nothing on TV. I was active young man, and now I'm paying the price literally, especially around the holidays when the
I
demands are
think it's
high.
a wonderful thing to have.
What's the
family
big toy
like
now that you have to get? It's
Well,
always one.
Yeah, well, now that my youngest is 13, so I've
Oh, so a
I
woman.
started young.
So you need to bring him a woman.
Well, it's a girl.
The winner gets to come
who
home
knows?
tonight
But-
to see his son.
It's the earbuds. They want the.
Oh, that's yeah. That's
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
They're not
And
cheap.
then at least mine like admitted he's like, don't even bother, I'm gonna lose it.
Exactly, but it's rough. So you know, you just got to get creative and do your best. And
Yeah.
you know, it's hard when they got champagne taste and beer money pockets.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
But
Well, I ain't giving you a dime, so if this is where this is going,
I was gonna say,
I
I'm
mean,
putting out a collection
yeah.
later. Benny's coming out with a basket, and
I
we're
mean, my God, all of a sudden I
Start a
feel like
GoFundMe page. It'll work. No.
good idea. I'm gonna do that now.
But now to you guys, how are you feeling so far? Now that you got the first round
first
under
round
your
under
belt.
your belt.
So far, so good. I was really nervous, but you guys made it all fun.
Oh, it
so
gets
we-
much tougher.
That's okay. We can.
All right, now we're going to get to the topless edition of the stand-up, which was one that I wrote. It's called "What Can You Turn Them Into When They're."
All of
Think of like balloon animals, how they get their scores by something elaborate, a little intricate.
Miniature poodle.
We could go on that kind of
Extra punch of creativity.
extra
Well, if
points
I
of
take off my
creativity.
bra, these would become
And-
doorstops.
There's no room in here already.
Listen, I threw it out there
Did you throw it
just to
out?
see that
We're not doing that.
I wouldn't be dirty, but
She's not doing
there is a round called Charles Guesses Your Weight.
Girl, you getting apes and stuff. You getting apes and shit. I gotta go topless. Just gotta even it up.
I
Now
want to see this.
we're getting ready now for premise pressure.
God.
So you guys, everyone's aware what premise pressure is. Benny's gonna come in a minute and announce what this is. This is the toughest round. I believe this is the toughest round of all the 4. So I wish you both, ladies, both the best of luck. And well, let's see what happens. All right, you ready, Benny Gagoots?
I'm ready. Round 2. Premise pressure. Ding! Comedy can certainly throw a lot of curveballs, and sometimes you have to think quick on your feet. So round 2, premise pressure. We will see how fast these comedians are with a variety of comedy premises. Each comedian will be given these premises, and you must fire off hilarious punchlines with each premise that they throw at you.
All right, so are you ready? You understand? So we're going to start. Who went first last time? You went first. So now, chit chat.
I can go first. No.
We'll begin with you, and we'll start. We'll throw out premises. We'll start with Rob, and then go Goonan, and then Sally, and then back circular.
Do we only give them one premise?
Yeah, one premise at a time.
At a
They do
time.
the joke, then the next, and then.
And these are from
Okay.
our pool.
Yeah, and you can make new premises up off the top of your head based off what we've
Okay.
talked about,
Okay.
or whatever you want. It's
Okay.
totally up to the judges.
Sex with farm animals. Is that something? No, I'm only kidding.
Let me get the clock
Don't
set
talk
up
about my
here.
boyfriends like that. Come on. I feel
Sex with
attacked.
farm-
It was bad.
All right. You,
Stand by. We will start the clock. In 3, 2, 1, and premise pressure time.
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa is the whitest black man I know.
Okay. Is he? Because I don't really know.
I believe he is now.
Skinny people.
You know, I used to weigh I used to be 135 pounds heavier, and I was never cold. Now that I became kind of a skinny person, I'm freezing all the time. I'm trying to gain back the 135 pounds.
Well, obviously we got to go right to that. Terrorism
Terrorism.
in all its glory.
I actually thought Osama bin Laden I could have dated him.
Because
He was the best looking terrorist that I've ever seen.
probably out of all of them, he was probably tall. He,
was
had his
good
own
looking.
business
He had
going.
his own
Yeah,
cave.
he had
He had
money.
several kids.
I was trying to find him before they did.
From what I
Right.
heard, though, he had terrible bedside manner.
It's okay. It didn't matter.
They said he was the bomb. I'm sorry.
That was
I'm
good.
sorry. That's not
All right, Rob, you got one for?
Oh, we go back now. You got one. You
Yes,
got
Sally
sir.
didn't
We
give
keep
me-
going. We
Keep
got
going.
3
I
minutes.
went.
We got 2 minutes left here.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So me. Okay. Addicted to porn.
My husband is so addicted to porn that he's trying to get me to do all the things he sees on his porn. That's it.
May we have a demonstration, please? We have cameras.
I
Can
won't do
you
them for
tell
him
me
either.
about what he suggests
Yeah. What is
that you do?
what are the particular things that he's into?
This is strictly for my
Excuse me, I gave you the joke. Move on.
All right, I go. Hoarders.
Hoarders?
Not Hooters. Hoarders.
I heard.
They're
Hoarders
next
with
door.
Hooters.
They're right next door.
Hoarders with Hooters. No.
Hoarders with Hooters.
I think hoarders are terrific. You can always go to their house and go shopping.
That's good.
That's
I like
clever.
that.
Why are rappers so pissed? What's with the anger? Eminem, he
Rappers
never
are
does a
so-
Christmas album.
Rappers are so pissed because they walk around with their pants hanging off their ass. And when the police go to catch them, they can't run.
That might be true. That might be true. That might be true.
All right, this might be the last one. We got 30 seconds. Go
Me?
ahead.
Dog poop.
Yeah, man.
I have a very little dog, but his poop is the largest shit I've ever seen.
Okay. A little too much information there.
You make me able to get one more off.
Oh, okay.
I'm going too fast. I gotta slow down.
Let's see.
Wait, no, and time.
Thank you, Jesus.
End on a good note.
I like that you ended with a little fellow want to do something big. That's your little dog.
So how was that,
We
Chit?
judged now, right?
Yes, now you judge based off of the punchline she provided, off of that kind of pressure premise
Okay.
insanity.
It was a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's
You did pretty
difficult.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what's going through your mind when they're throwing at you? Trying to find the punchline or
I'm
the
trying to
spin
find
on it?
something quick that's still going to be funny.
Right, right.
So it's hard. I just don't want to say anything. I want to make it funny as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard.
All right. Well, Sally, what do you think?
I gave you an 8. I thought,
Wow.
yeah, I thought you had like a handful of funny comebacks, and even they kind of came back at you, and you even flourished at that point, which is
I
even
think I do
like
better
I
at
would. It's nerve wracking. Yeah.
And they created a whole bit with the Bin Laden thing. Rob Falcone, what do you got?
I gave you a 7.5.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'll take it.
And what do you think of her?
I thought some were very clever, and with the short amount of time that you had to do it, I think you did well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not easy. That's tough.
Want more gum?
That's definitely tough.
Well, it might change it. I gave you an 8 also. Chit Chat also gave you an 8. I thought that you really didn't stumble. You flowed with the conversation. You were easy going with it. You went along with it, and you ended with the idea of a little dog who needs big duty. And it's Christmas time. So it's perfect for the holiday.
Everybody poops.
Very good. The good scores, Chit Chat. Wheeler right there with the premise pressure getting through it. Now, Dana, when you've seen her go through it, does that make you think, okay, this is going to be, I got this, or is it more like, oh my God, this is going to be even harder?
I'm focusing on not having a panic attack right now. Answer questions like
Wow.
So just breathe, just breathe.
No, I mean, if the great Kit Kat can get 8s, maybe I'll be able to get 5s.
You're ready.
Fine, go for
I
the
think
Who the
you
hell
got
is
this.
Kit
You're
Kat?
ready to shoot.
Who the hell is Kit Kat?
Now I'm
The great
hungry.
Kit. You know what I thought she said? I thought she said if the great Kit Kat can get AIDS, so can I. I'm like, who the hell wants that?
You don't want AIDS. Yeah, you definitely don't want AIDS.
Oh, Kit Kat's here. I didn't know that. Give me a break.
Dana,
Chocolate.
just remember, Dana, that you've overcome a lot in your life, and that this is a small potato. You can handle this one.
This is equal to polio.
Wow.
I'm not joking.
Oh, wow.
What you think?
I don't know if that's like a compliment. Like that might be the greatest compliment this show's ever gotten.
That's what you
Or
want.
like greatest insult.
That's got to be a blurb for you. Equal to polio. And then it should just say someone who has polio.
Right.
And that's my act.
In the
That's
world of
awesome.
an ulcer, you are what we call a carrier.
We're going to go in about 3 seconds. We'll start with Rob again and go around the chain like we did
All
the
right,
last time.
and this is for Dana now, right?
This is for Dana.
Okay.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Premise pressure time.
Okay. Thanksgiving dinner.
Thanksgiving dinner is always really weird because my parents are all police officers and ER nurses, and I'm a criminal back from my first rehab. That's that.
So they're always asking you to go in the bathroom and pee for them in between.
They're asking, Dana, stay out of our rooms, okay? Don't go in our rooms. It's all costume jewelry.
If you buy yourself claps. Or
That's great. Eating healthy.
Eating healthy is something I don't even bother doing because I have polio, and the only thing that can take me out is polio. I'm going to reference that a lot.
So have some,
It's all going back there. I don't need to eat healthy. I've survived.
I hope I'm saying this correctly.
Midgets. Are they even real people?
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. Wow. Are they even real people?
Wow.
I'm
So it's
allowed
like a
to
Buddhist
say it.
situation. You ask a question.
Yes.
Okay. You're right. You're right. I found one
Are
of my
they?
Happy
That's
Meal the
cold.
other day.
That's
Yeah.
there's PC in comedy.
Sure, I may have polio, but I ain't one of them midgets.
Yeah.
I'm a person.
Exactly.
I don't hide out in Happy Meals.
It's not even a real disability. They're just
Last
short.
ones to get the rain and the first ones to drown.
And they can never have top shelf living.
And they can't go on any roller coasters or anything. Why even survive?
can't go
Just
on
take
the
them.
ride.
Tall
Just
enough to get up the ride.
euthanize them.
Ooh, wow, euthanize the midgets.
Yeah, that's how.
Wow, because we need more.
If you can't go on a roller coaster, what's the point?
Midget is very
You just got a
politically
10.
incorrect.
You just said
They wanna
euthanize
be
the
known
midgets.
as little people.
Little people.
We don't need the
Want to be
I
known as
gave her
little
10.
people.
She said euthanize the midgets. It's Christmas. I gave her 10 in
We still
advance.
got
I'm sorry.
we still
I'm
got one more
sorry.
minute. Are you ready, Rob?
Unless she spares them, I'm not.
That's it? Or we got,
We're still good. We got one more
for
minute.
another one?
Yes, sir.
Disabilities.
Really?
Stop right there.
How about stutterers?
Oh, did somebody say disabilities?
No.
No, oh, no,
No,
just
no.
me.
Sometimes I faint.
Disabilities.
You ever try to play polo? So you'd be playing polo?
Marco Polo is the worst drink,
Marco
worst
Polio?
game. Marco Polio is what I played a lot. Played Marco Polio, and now I play getting better parking spaces than all of you. So it's like, yeah.
Wow.
You can
Nice.
swim to the end of the pool, Timmy, but I got you on parking.
Nicely done.
Very good.
We have room for one more quickie.
Homeless people.
Are they even really people?
Kind of like midgets.
Euthanize them.
It's bad when homeless people are more people than the midgets.
And time on that one.
10 points.
Wow. Dana McAllister going for the jugular. She just insulted a colony of midgets.
There's a colony.
They're all pissed. You definitely you lost the little people crowd. They are going to be protesting your Twitter page now.
They'll
If
catch
there
back
are any
up to
little
me.
people watching this, please leave some messages on the Facebook.
Do they
page.
like
Meant
little
to say
people,
a
or do
string
they
of
like
Peloponnese.
I think you did very well. We're going to go around the board here. Do you feel like a sense of relief and release now that you've gotten that off your chest?
Oh, there's a release, all right.
You didn't like the midgets.
Yeah. we
them
always
midgets.
learned a lot about the contestants in the premise pressure. We learned so much. Now we know your distaste for little
I just
people.
figured I'd say the most offensive thing I could think of, and there we go. I only
Wow.
mentioned oil 5 times.
Save one for the gooch. Gazoots.
The gooch.
Don't call him the gooch.
The gooch. Was this different strokes with the gooch? But okay, so let's go around the board here. We'll start with Rob Falcone.
Dane, I gave you a 9.
Wow,
I thought
nine, a
you did
big
very
nine.
well.
Thank you.
You did. You came out the gate swinging.
Yeah, you sure did.
My arms work.
Well, I tell you something. It's Christmas time and fuck the midgets. Fuck the homeless. 10.5. 10.5.
only give her 10.
Oh my
Extra
God.
five.
On the way home, I hope I see a homeless midget.
Run it over.
Run it over, right?
Just run it over.
That's no
It
Fraggle.
won't even make a dent.
At least Fraggles can sing.
Yeah, exactly.
I have nothing to do with any
The
of the
trolls
things
have the
going on.
hair.
I love that. I'll tell you one thing. With what you said about the midgets, you're never getting them wishes granted. But you're all right.
Yeah.
You're all right, though.
They're going to mess your house up on St. Patrick's Day. You just
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
Crap.
Those little...
I hope the
shoe
midgets
elves.
are watching. Can they
Ooh.
see the TV from down there?
Oh, you're really mean.
I'm panicking.
Wow.
I'm so glad
I might have to add another half
the
point.
heckler jokes.
If you keep insulting people, I'm going to add another half point.
Sally, what do you think of Dana McAllister and her roasting of midgets?
Well, considering I'm like 2 inches
no.
shy of one
I might have picked the
on a
wrong.
good day,
We are in the Me Too era.
when I have a body wave. Yeah, I give you a 9. I thought you were great.
Wow. Very
Back in
good.
the next round.
Very good. You guys did great with the premise pressures. You handled it well. I think you both did fantastic. That's a very hard thing to do.
Yes.
I mean, just getting those thrown at you like that and having.
Are you kidding? Just doing this is so tough. It's hard. It's a lot of courage to do this kind of stuff.
Yes, indeed.
We're women
It
and
is.
we're strong.
Me too.
What did he-
Hashtag me too.
What did
No,
he
we're not
promise
doing it.
you?
Well, not me too.
What did Don
No, no.
promise you to do this?
Me neither.
Touch me,
They
lick
just
me,
come on for the love. They
compliment
knew
me,
you
do
were
it
going
all
to be
to
here.
me.
Well, you know, when Bobby Paradise, Agent to the Stars,
That's how you're gonna
comes
get the
on
W.
surfaces, people
That's
draw.
that's when you
Yes.
know. So Rob, I want to ask you. You've been a veteran in the comedy game for how long have you been doing it for?
I've been doing stand-up for about 28 years.
Yeah, because I remember when I
give that.
started doing stand-up at McGuire's back in the day. I was on open mics and all that stuff. I used to go there all the time and I'd see you perform, and I would always love your show and love your set. So what's going on over there, ladies?
I,
She's concerned
You know,
that she can't
there-
insult people well, and I said,
girls,
that's all I have.
girls, Don's interviewing
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's the
I'm a
personality portion of
legend
the
in
show.
my own mind.
I'm sorry. Have
Minus
some
5
gum.
for
mean-
starting a conversation.
This will save you from going on my website and really doing some research.
But when it comes to premises, how do you come up with a premise with your stand-up sets?
You know, I'll tell you, I'm not a sit-down writer. I don't sit down and my best writing, believe it or not, is when I'm on my way to do a gig and it's a 2-hour ride and I'm in the car. I write a lot there. I'm watching TV and I'm writing. I very rarely am able to just sit down unless somebody gives me some premises, they write some stuff about that.
Right.
I write in the most peculiar times and ways to get my premises, yeah.
'Cause I was watching some of your stuff online, and I think it's brilliant the way you found the premise, like with the dollar store.
Yeah.
So it has an arc.
Yes.
There's an arc to your jokes, and this is huge because a lot of people just go for the premise and then go on to the next premise and the next premise. Yours starts off with the dollar store, then you got some gags about the dollar store, leads to the dollar toilet paper, but then it goes into like the Price Club, Costco, and then into the big things, and then again you paper towels. I just finished them off last
Right,
week,
right.
and then it goes back to the dollar store, and then into the GPS. It's all a nice flow. It all makes
I
sense.
tie things, yeah. Since I started comedy, I knew that when I found my voice, it was to, and this also was good for memory for me, that the ending of one joke there might be a word into something that connects me right away to where I'm going in the next. And I like to sew things together, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's only when you do a long set. When you have to do a short set, sometimes you have to do a little bit different kind of approach to that, you know. But I like being like telling a story.
Right,
Yeah.
and it all ties together, and
Yeah.
then it comes full circle.
And I
at the end.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody's listening now. So you were the number one on the website that I got in the counter?
That was me. I was watching.
Okay.
Yeah. And but no, I think that having a premise is obviously the key to these things, but also building that arc like what Rob did. If you guys get a chance, the newer comics, watch what these guys are doing. Guys like Mr. Falcone here, because they are like masters of it. And then you got guys like the Great Goonin here. If you watch his stuff, he goes by the Great Goonin, and he's got.
If I was in shorts, you'd know.
And your premises are basically in your show that you do. You're playing
into Goonin,
yourself. Tune into Goonin. Check it out. It's funny. I liked it a lot. I love his character on there. He's kind of like. Well, you explain your character to everyone.
Well, it's sort of a version of me trying to live my life into show business and get into show business. Sort of if I had a reality show while I was trying to make it in show business, and I run around and do crooked things and have it's almost like myself, only I'm a little taller. I'm a little
wear
taller.
lifts?
Just a little taller.
He's not a midget, folks.
No. That's why I agree.
Good.
But what I do like is that it does have a little bit of that Jack Benny vibe. I don't know if
Old
you're
school. Like Jack. I don't know if anybody knows Jack.
Yeah.
Well, he was absolutely phenomenal.
He was
I'm too
phenomenal.
young
He
for
was a
Jack
self-loathing
Benny.
guy. He also had characters
He
that he
had
dealt
timing
with.
that was
Yeah.
just impeccable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the crowd was in on the jokes.
Yeah.
So he sometimes didn't even have to say
Well, he
anything.
became self-deprecating. He
Yeah.
was- yes.
And that's similar to what you're doing. It's a little bit
Deprecating.
deprecating, but thank you. But I do think that it also has a little bit of Larry David going on in there. There's a lot of.
But I have more hair than him.
and better hair.
Better hair.
Goonin's got the best hair on the
Oh,
set tonight. Let's
yes,
give it up
thank
for that
you.
hair. man.
Thank you. I got this
He
on
outdoes
layaway.
me, and I take pride in mine
Yeah,
too.
man.
But
If
yeah.
you got it, flaunt it, baby.
That's what I'm talking. That's why everything else is covered.
But premises for your show, so your show is like a makeshift reality show, basically,
Yes.
where you're kind of going through
Right.
your life as an entertainer, trying to get into the movies and all these things. What's the different types of premises, and how do you create those?
Well, I get the premises from what really happened. So, there was an episode where I run a comedy class, and I'm telling people, be funnier, faster, now, and stuff. And that's because of comedy classes I've been to and seen. And I thought it would be funny if I did it that way. I had another episode where I put my script into this project to get it produced, but it's a diversity project. So I find out I'm the only one who can't be involved in it because I'm a straight white guy. So I have to find something make up something that makes me different.
Something bad about
Yeah,
yourself.
something that makes me a minority. So I do that, and that was based on something I had to do to make a buck, and
That's
so
so
it could
funny.
be whatever you want. And I'm gonna do one today about maybe about getting picked up and being brought to a contest where I get to tell people what to do. It's very and that's how you get the ideas.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
write themselves, like
Yes,
he was
they
saying.
write
They write
themselves.
themselves. Real life
Yes.
writes themselves. And I'm not plugging. I'm not telling you to go to YouTube to Super Goonin, SuperGoonan, to listen to my show or to follow me on Facebook. And I'm also following you. So we're all
Yes.
together.
Yes. And a great show indeed. But to your point about being a white straight man,
Thank you.
Rob is a difficult. Have you seen in your years in comedy the arc of the PC, the Me Too, all of these things, this cancel culture? How is there when you go into doing stand up? Is it harder or do you take the same approach, or are you now overthinking
Because
sets?
of this politically correct
Yes.
insaneness.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. Politically correct only affects certain comics. Usually the ones that are not funny.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Because if you say something that's funny, no matter how politically incorrect it is, if it's funny, you won't be judged on it because it's in good taste if it's funny.
That's a good
We
point.
gave the power to the wrong people to judge us about what supposedly is the people that are saying it's not politically correct have nothing to do with the entertainment business, nothing to do with comedy. Probably are boring people. They're cardboard personalities. And what happened is somebody gave them power to judge us. And it's a shame because we don't force people to listen to our comedy.
Right, they come in, they pay.
You come
I
in,
do.
you have
I force people.
and certain people, they
I
don't
force
realize
people.
that it's not
My door
real.
locks from the outside.
It's not real. And if it's bad, if it's in bad, anything that you do that's bad is not politically incorrect. It's just bad. It's in bad taste, and it just has to be funny. That's all.
What do you guys think about comedians that try deliberately, like George Carlin said, the job of a comedian is to find the line, deliberately cross it. Do you think comedians should still deliberately cross the line, or are they risking it all now crossing the
You're
line?
taking it too wide of a margin. There are comics out there that do one-liners. There are comics out there that tell stories. There are comics that are blue. There are comics that are squeaky clean. There are comics that talk about family and children and their wives, and so you can't say everybody should be going. You know what the problem is? A young comic today, they want to be like Bill Hicks, or they want to be like some kind of guy. There was only one.
Right.
When we were young, they wanted to be Lenny Bruce, and there was no other person than Lenny.
Right.
And so if you're good at that, then you'll cross the line because you're good at that. I know comics that are incredibly good that cross the line, and nobody is putting them on trial for it because it's hysterical.
Right, because they're funny.
It's hysterical. It's excellent work. It's excellent writing. And that to me is what it's all about.
True indeed. And if you're a comic that's like, let's just say you're a comedian and you go out there and you just start hating on midgets, is that going to ruin your career?
Only a little bit.
Only if you're
waka.
playing to an audience of midgets. You have to know your audience.
Only for a short while.
It's discrimination if I don't bring up the
There you
midget.
go.
And don't they grow if you add water?
You have to clap, right?
Is that
You
what,
know.
to believe them?
Yeah.
I'm not doing no midget jokes.
I got
For-
it. I got
you
you.
know, if your audience is predominantly Jewish, you don't open up with "I ate a delicious roast pork sandwich." There's certain things
Right, you have to
don't
know
do.
the crowd. You got
Let's hear it for pork, everybody, at the B'nai Bread.
Pork, everybody. But yeah, I think there are challenges. I do agree with everything you said about it. If it's funny, you won't necessarily hear about it.
No.
And there are kind of witch hunters out there that are looking to take down certain people.
We lose the sense of the definition of being a stand-up comedian. A stand-up comedian is not to be so prolific. And a lot of young comics today, they're more interested in what their comedy cronies are thinking of them more than entertaining the audience. When I do a show, people are paying money to come in to be entertained. They don't want to, they could give a rat's ass to hear if I use big words and they're not put anywhere specific, or, if I talk like some longshoreman and, it's like, if it's funny, it's going to be good no matter how you deliver it, no matter what you take, no matter what topic. There are topics that are very risky, but you've seen comics do it, and they're hilarious.
Right, yeah.
They're not being put down. You see comics today, they think it's funny to be crass and to be not funny, to be vulgar or something. And that's great amongst comics. But not to a crowd of people that are coming in to be entertained.
I do see your point there, because I do think a lot of comedians, especially newer generation comedians, are trying to make the other comics
they
laugh.
want to look cool.
Right.
They want to go up there and say, oh, look, did you hear what I did? Did you see what I did
Yeah.
about this?
Or they even take pride in bombing. Like, hey, I bombed. That audience didn't get me. And
Yeah,
blah, blah.
it beats the hell out of me, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I never
Because-
bothered wanting to impress my comedy friends. I never had any comedy friends.
You don't have
I
any comedy?
hated all the other comedians. They hated
Well,
me.
that usually comes in time.
Yeah. I jumped right into it.
So can I ask a question? A person like George.
We do the interviewing. You know.
I'm interviewing you guys.
Yeah.
I just
Person like
wanna know,
George Carlin.
would he? Because he was very political. Do you think he would
Did you
be?
see the way George Carlin started out?
I really
No,
don't think
I
he's
didn't.
political.
If you look at
Yeah.
George's original material, he was hilarious.
With Jack
He
Burns?
did like the hippy dippy weatherman.
Oh, yeah.
He did a stone guy. He did
The Boy Scout
things
leader.
that, yeah, he did things that were priceless. He only became prolific in his older years
Okay.
because sometimes when you do it so long, and I mean, he was a wordsmith. He
Yeah.
was incredible
Yeah.
with his writing.
Yeah.
But later in his years, it was more or less not what the audience wanted to hear. It was what he wanted to say. Yeah.
But that's some of
And
the
that's
best
okay
stuff.
too,
And I
because he
love
kind of
that. I
earned
love
that,
that.
you know.
But see, when you have an audience coming to see you,
You give
you
you.
could get away with a lot more
Yeah.
than when you're coming, when you're performing in front of an audience that maybe never heard of you or maybe saw you just once or twice. When you play to an audience that's a draw, that they're coming to see you, they're yours. You could
Give him you.
Yeah, and Carlin was one of the masters, man. He was
Yeah,
one of
he
the
was
ones
a
that,
master.
I mean,
But his early
One of the greats.
material was simple, but he was just so clever at the way he did the premises, the way he did the characters. He was just clever, but he was a wordsmith as well. And I hated the son of a bitch, to tell you the truth,
'Cause he
because
raised
I'll
him.
never be that.
Yeah.
And
My grandmother smacked George Carlin in the face. I
Yeah.
found out. Yeah, she's in
Extra
the, she's
point.
like she's like on,
Why?
She's in the nurse. They were like she was 9, and I guess I grew up in the same neighborhood, and he was. I almost had a chance for him to be my grandpappy. Apparently,
Lord,
And my grandma
There
has
were
terrible
times-
taste,
wow,
so
you've
smacked
been to
him.
Carlin?
there were
Could've
comics
been.
when I was growing up there wasn't, and there still is not, there still shouldn't be. It has become too narrow today. A lot of comics, you could hear their set, walk away, and they don't leave any impression whatsoever. And back then, every comic that you saw on TV was so not only an individual, but left you with such an impression of what they did, whether it be an impersonator or a storyteller. They sold it, and they sold it with everything: their characters, their mannerisms, the
His Rich
delivery.
Little was a good
Delivery
impression,
is so impeccable, still with comedy.
It's all about timing and delivery.
Yeah.
Goonie,
And your set should go somewhere, and you should have things in it, and this doesn't happen overnight, but you should develop into having material that people will remember because it's that good. Yeah.
Yep. Take note. This guy's been around for a long time, man. This is Rob
Yeah.
Falcone giving you
And
like
just to give you an
head-to-head
idea
advice here.
of how well I'm doing, it's Saturday night, and I'm sitting in a freezer next to the hamburger meat so it doesn't thaw.
And he did it to be here with us right here. Rob Falcone.
You know
so
what?
happy this guy's here tonight, folks.
I was honored when I got the call. And I called my manager and I said, "Is this a career move?" He said, "Definitely. Jump all over it.
That's it.
I've been trying to get you in there for 2 years.
And now
And
you're
if he
here.
called you, then you do better than me. But you still have to send me commission." And
Hey,
but-
dreams come true here on Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up, folks. So Gooden, what do you think about all of these great comedians and is
Not
George
as good
Carlin-
as me. I mean, they were okay. Like Chaplin, he was alright.
Who paved the way for you? Would it be Chaplin?
Pay way for me?
Yeah.
Me? Really? There wasn't nobody before me?
It's the
No
unknown
one's like you.
comedians
There was- yeah, the
that
fella-
tell you the not so funny side of comedy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there was anybody before BC before Charles. What about that? No, the comedians I love. Oh, so many different comedians. I couldn't.
My
Fella who's
favorite-
on tonight, Eddie Murphy, who's on SNL tonight.
He's
He's
on
on
SNL
I
tonight,
know.
and what is he doing? Man hasn't written a joke in 35 years. He's going out there and doing all the shit that you saw before, He's doing the Gumby.
Oh, so he's
he's
not
doing the
watching
Mr.
tonight.
Rogers. Why? Because he hasn't written a goddamn thing.
I really
The
opened a
man
can of
should
worms.
He
pick
here.
feels
up a
some sort of
pen.
way
He
about
should
this.
write something new.
I hope you're hearing this, Eddie.
Eddie, you should
know what?
You should pick up a pen, Eddie.
I think, you know what? I think, of course I was just kidding.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
If I could
It's Eddie
still, if I
Murphy.
could
What'd
still
you
open
say
up
about
for you at the Bijou on Route 4, but I think it's going to be, I'm going to hopefully watch it because I think it'll be hysterical.
Yeah,
Bugs
I
Bunny's
can't
my
wait.
His
I can't
favorite
wait.
characters. I think it is going to be excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the
'cause
writing
he's
is
He's
gonna be
backpedaling now
great.
because he knows people are going to hear.
Hey, listen, I forgot this goes over the internet. So
This
Philly,
is Facebook
This goes all the way to
Live.
Syosset.
Philly gets this, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Philly. We'll
Parts
get
of
this-
Syosset get this.
Yes. Leave comments below. Let us know how you're thinking of the show so far, and let us know about our contestants and who you think's in the lead right now between Chit Chat Wheeler and Dana McAllister. And
All
we'll
right.
see.
You're going to get phone calls now?
we have
Well,
a
we're
tally?
gonna. Yeah, you could actually go.
Could I go and warm up is what I'd like to
Yes.
do.
He's going to go outside to get warm.
So Rob Falcone is going to take a break. While he does that, I'm going to read this sponsorship
Release
right here.
form?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
and then we'll when Rob comes back, we will get into the
I am-
insult challenge with the
leaving the
Gagoots.
chair.
Yes, sir. So right now, folks, let me just do this really quick. It's Island Ice Hockey. Island Ice Hockey by MHL. From weekday to weekend, from novice to experienced, from 16 years old to 60 plus years old, Island Ice Hockey has a team for everyone. Sign up at islandicehockey.com or call 631-262-0543 for more information. That's 631-262-0543 for more information. That's Island Ice Hockey.
Woo!
So now, while we got a little break going on with our judge and one of our contestants, we will talk with the Goonin here, the great Goonin.
Naturally.
Now, we talked a little bit about your show. We talked a little bit about what's about. What do you got going on? Are you still got new episodes dropping? Are you still working on some
Yeah,
stuff?
still working on some new ones. Should be coming out soon. Probably all should be ready by the time the winter's over. We'll have some more coming out soon, and that'll be available on YouTube. There'll be some ones that I want to do. Remember, I spoke to you a while back, Sally, but I wanted to do something around here. I probably want to do that pretty
should.
soon. We were talking about that on my free ride here.
Sure, why not?
And-
Yeah, I went and picked up the Great Goonin, and it was an honor, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I am a fan. So watch his show on YouTube.
And I'm not that heavy. You could pick me up. I'm also in another web series as an actor in a show called Bromance that's going to be coming out early 2020. It's the third season of Bromance. Bromance is fairly popular online and on YouTube. It's a web series. You can check that out online.
Bromance.
Bromance, yes.
Yeah, and you've been doing a lot of acting here and there. Like I've seen, you did a thing in like an art gallery. You played a part.
Yes, I did that
yeah,
thing too.
and
Yeah.
all these types of things. So how's the acting career going? You have an agent, and what's your process?
Yeah, what's your favorite thing to do? Act or do the shows that you've been doing?
My favorite thing is to do my stuff, but whatever pays is the best thing to do. Like I was brilliant doing sheetrock the other day, but I like acting for good things, for good shows and stuff like that. I did a bunch of not really prominent stuff, but for Boardwalk Empire, that was really cool.
Oh,
Because
cool.
when they
That
dress
show.
you up in the old costumes and stuff, that's pretty good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you are a throwback. You have an old soul, even in the way you talk and
Yeah.
in some of your mannerisms. You kind of remind me of like old Brooklyn. Like
Yeah,
Be
you do.
visited by three spirits, and I'm one of them.
you got like that. Hey, Daddy, or like that old type
Hey,
of.
Daddy-o.
Have you ever said that?
No.
But you have that kind of.
Is that how you say daddy in Spanish? Daddy?
So you have like an old school vibe going. Do you ever play off of that more? Like,
Sure.
Yeah, like a nightclub. You remind me of like an old nightclub type of guy. Like if I was casting a movie and I
Yeah.
needed a guy,
Are you casting a movie?
I might be.
Oh, well then,
Yeah.
okay then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
stick
you'd be
around.
great.
I probably would. I'm agreeing with everything he's saying.
And you look like a younger me. You look like a younger version of me.
Really?
A little better looking than I
Oh,
am.
all right.
Yeah,
He's already lying to me already.
Yeah.
He must be my agent. He must be my agent.
I will be your agent. I will be the agent to the great Goonin.
There you go.
But I do think also, just to pump your tires a little bit more, your singing is
Do you like to sing?
Stated. I think you should. I know you do sing a lot.
Yes.
But
I did a lot more of my stage shows than I did on my web series. I'm going to put more of that in there. But, you got to figure out there's enough room for all that. Try to make it as concise as possible. But, yeah, I do sing.
Are
I
you
do.
trained as a singer?
No, but I sang. I used to sing in jazz clubs and stuff like that. I used to sing with bands and stuff like that. Before I even did comedy, I was a singer.
See, like old style bands, like yeah,
Like jazz, yeah.
like
jazz
Don has
bands.
a good point. You're an old soul.
I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
I should be collecting Social Security by now.
Do you play any instruments or just sing?
I can play the kazoo,
That's cool.
and I can do like little noises. Like I could do like, and I can do the muted trumpet.
It's actually pretty good.
Is it bad that I'm enjoying this?
Yeah,
right?
And I belong to the National Musical Restoration Project, which presents the original songs and their original better lyrics. There's a lot of songs that became popular and people don't remember the original lyrics. Like do you remember like, how much is that dog in the window?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'll just order the fried rice. That's a beautiful old song. Did you ever hear that one? That's a beautiful tune. Puff the perverted dragon hid behind a tree. Oh, that has a lovely ending. That has a lovely ending. Yeah, they're all great. I belong to the National Musical. Remember, for Christmas, there's the original lyrics to Let It Snow. Do you know the original lyrics?
No, let's hear it.
Okay, so here it is, everybody. Here it is. I'll give you the original. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, why don't you suck it? That was the original lyric.
Wow, I like the original version. I wonder why they
I
changed
did not
it.
know
They
that.
changed it. I don't know why they changed. Sometimes
I know
people
that.
change it.
Why don't you suck it? I love it.
Support the National Musical Restoration Project. The truth is better.
Was there a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
There was a Rudolph one. I was gonna tell you the Frosty one.
Okay.
But there's a Frosty one because it's a little quicker.
All right.
Because Frosty, the original story of Frosty, is much better for the Christmas season than the one that everybody knows, which is kind of trite and really, stupid. The original one was better. And that's, how'd that go? I remember we used to sit around. Frosty, the crackhead, used to suck on Rudolph's dick. And he said one day, does it make me gay? Because it sure as hell makes me sick. Frosty, the crackhead, used to cup Rudolph's nutsack for an extra $5 or to stay alive or to get his children back. Oh, it's a beautiful song.
Wow, very nice. The original Frosty.
A lot in that story.
Yeah. A lot happened. Well, he had a. Yeah, if you've got the fare, come to Tompkins Square. Okay, it's a whole thing. And the thumpity thump, you don't even know what that is.
Wow,
Yeah.
thumpity thump thump. Now it's got a whole new thing in my mind.
Well, it's Christmas.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think this is great that you're reviving all the old
I
original lyrics.
I like the original lyrics. Yeah.
And
The original better lyrics.
and with you guys, do you guys have any Christmas songs you like to share and sing with us right now?
I hate Christmas. I'm a Grinch.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
buy nobody gifts. I don't cook. I sleep. I do whatever. I hate Christmas.
Well, happy
Wow.
Hanukkah to you.
Wow.
What?
What did Christmas ever do to me?
I said happy Hanukkah to you. That's what I said.
I'm not Jewish either.
Oh.
So
Oh, there goes my chance of getting any agent. I thought there was at least one Jew in the fucking.
what's with Christmas? Is it because of you have to spend so much money, or is it you just don't like seeing people happy, or what's the problem?
They're not happy. They're miserable. First of all, my mother loved Christmas, and she would decorate our house with so much stuff. And little stencil you used to put on the tree? My mother threw nothing out. So every year, her kids would have to take all that stencil and put one by one in a box. So that's decorations was over by the time I became an adult.
Wow.
And I learned my friends were only giving me gifts so they can get one. I used to get the crappiest
you
gift
give
ever.
to get. You give to get.
Exactly,
you
but
need
they
a-
never
that's a
gave me
fresh
anything
water.
I never used.
You got to give to get, and
So
and
one year I told my friends, if you still want to give me a gift for Christmas, I will accept, but I'm not giving out gifts this year. And I've never received another Christmas gift after that. So that told me what Christmas is all about.
wow. Unfortunately, that is a part of it.
Exactly.
But what I don't like is if I do a grab bag or something like that, and then it's a $40 limit, and I go $40, and then I get back a $5 gift. That's when I can get a little, but I do it with a smile. I do it with a smile,
And
and then I sing Frosty the reindeer and the thumpity thump thump, and then that's all good after that. So we're getting ready now for round 3, which is the Gagoots, who's been standing behind you guys, just kind of observing you the whole show and kind of evaluating where are your weak parts, where he can kind of get in there and insult you. Now, have you guys ever had to face hecklers or insult battles before? You've done an insult battle before, haven't you?
Well, yes, and also I went to middle school and high school as a disabled person on Long Island. So yeah, I'm good at this.
So this might be in your wheelhouse.
But
right
I also did a roast battle earlier this year against Kieran McGovern. So.
Yeah. Very good stuff. So now the Gagoots is here. So we'll start off with the Gagoots versus Chit Chat. So we'll give the microphone to the Gagoots.
And we judge them on this too.
We're going to judge. Yes, the judges will
Dana's
judge them.
supposed to go. Dana was
Then
supposed
switch
to
seats with her. Then because she just needs the microphone.
go. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come over here.
All right. So
Were you going to explain it at all? Or?
I will explain it. You ready? We'll do that right
Ready?
now.
You can go right next to me.
All right, folks. When performing stand-up comedy, comedians should know how to handle hecklers and be able to roast a person at the drop of a dime. So this round, these comedians will have to face off and trade insults with the Gagoots for 3 minutes. This will test each comedian's roasting skills and their sharp comebacks. All right, so this is the moment we've all been waiting for here. This is the Gagoots. Gagoots, what do you think of these ladies so far?
I think you put me with two nicer ladies. I feel bad, but we got a similarity. All three of us are easy targets.
The accent
When I say to them, they say to me, what does he say?
By the way, very convincing.
I grow this mustache every day.
You you look just like my grandma. She was Italian too.
I think your grandma, she come from the other side?
What? Yeah, but now she's transitioning. Yeah.
So Gagoots,
The dark side of the moon. I want to tell you, I'm so broke. I hear you these are judges, very funny, but I'm so broke I could only afford the pizza box. I couldn't
No
even
pizza
buy the
inside there?
pizza.
very good. And now, have you
I feel
been
bad for you.
have you been studying these two ladies?
Yes, I've been studying these two ladies, but you made me cry. You got 5 kids and no money. So yeah, I want to give you $1 million
Wow,
bill.
thank you, Gagoots.
It's $1 million and it's gonna be good. Give that to him,
Wow,
Dana.
this
Dana,
is
thank
great.
you.
Jerry Garcia,
Yeah,
$1 million.
you'll be able to spend that when Jerry Garcia becomes the presidente.
Okay. I will vote for him next time. I think
Okay, so and Dana.
Yeah.
Now, you have a disability. You were born with a disability
I got it from the vaccine.
from the vaccine. And what do you have?
Polio.
So you have me. I'm gonna insult to someone with polio. Next week when you get somebody with the tuberculosis, or maybe
so ableist.
maybe a brain cancer.
I like to make it easy
Yeah,
for you,
thanks.
Gagoots.
So that's so
Benny.
nice.
Benny doesn't even like
polio.
to go at women.
Yeah, he
now
does
now
not
you're giving
like
him
to get-
someone with a
I
disability.
know, this is very
No,
hard.
because the women, they got a network. They got their own network. You go shopping. My wife knows what I was doing as soon as I go home because the women, they got some extrasensory stugats.
So you're a little bit nervous
I'm
about
a little
this one.
nervous, but it's all right. Chit Chat a Wheeler first?
No, you got to go against Dana first.
Dana first.
Yes.
And then
I'll roast
what?
you standing on one leg.
Yeah.
When do you get a leper next? Somebody with leprosy. I can make a joke
that's
about.
next
Yeah.
week. Next week's show.
Oh,
we got
thank you so much.
All right, so you're ready? Are you guys ready for roasting battle? We got 3 minutes on the clock. Your best roasting. This is going to be Gagoots versus Dana McAllister. Judges, we're judging McAllister's comebacks against the Gagoots. And are we ready? In 3, 2, 1, roast it.
Dana, what you said about the midgets, Santa works with a lot of little people. He's a man, you're not getting a shit for Christmas, and the elves are burning a candy cane on your lawn right now.
I think the midgets are going to be really upset to know that you don't understand that elves and midgets are different subgenres of little folk. I'm not losing nothing for
I
Christmas.
think they all use the same bathroom. Your birth certificate is an apology letter from the condom company.
I thought we were doing roast, not facts.
Oh.
What? I'm not,
She says it's a fact. That's a
That's
fact.
a fact.
oh,
not a
that's an
roast.
actual fact. Oh, I know you're too good. I thought she was talking about FX. I'm like, what are you making fun of my mustache? Okay. You inspired the slogan, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste."
Okay. I guess I do. I mean, it goes to show you don't need a mind or legs to be funniest person in the room.
Oh, that got stuck in your stash.
Zing.
That was a hit for me too.
Sorry. Casual, friendly fire, man.
Hey, that was a good find. That's okay. You're still gonna get a shit from Santa. I mean, you know,
That's just what I asked for. So.
some of these insults tonight, I decide I'm gonna re-gift to some old insults. You were such a bad cook that the last time you baked a cake, Betty Crocker got a food poisoning, and Aunt Jemima flipped her flapperjacks.
No, I'm actually a very good cook because she didn't taste the poison one bit, and now I own all the shares for the stock.
The whole plan.
You were so dumb that you thought euthanasia was a Girl Scout troop in China.
That's why I want to send the midgets to be euthanized. To China work camp.
The skeletons in your closet started their own support group.
When do they meet? I need to go.
Your comfort dog committed suicide.
It's true, and so now I have an emotional support dog to talk to it about.
Take that.
So there.
Are my 3 minutes up yet?
30 seconds.
30
30 seconds.
Treatment.
You rented a haunted house and then the ghost moved out.
And I turned it into a trap house and moved the dope man in.
Oh. We got room for one
I know
more.
where I'm buying my Christmas drugs. I'm getting my Christmas cheer from Medina's house.
I got them elves working on it. Cutting it. And the midgets.
Okay.
10 seconds.
I'm done.
And time. All right, everybody. That was very good. That was a good roast battle there. Dana McAllister. Let us know, folks, at Facebook Live. I don't know if you could comment and let us know who you think won that battle between the Gagoots and Dana McAllister. But right now, we're going to go to our judges and see what they thought. We will start with the great Goonan. Goonan, what do you think?
Okay, I'm going to give Dana a 7.
Cool.
Nice, a 7.
Because her answers weren't really insults back. They were more like solutions to the situation
She was
that was going
helpful.
on. Like he would say something like, you know, your family's a bunch of paupers. Well, that's why I moved them out and got some executives in my house. Like she had new answers to everything.
yeah.
And I gave her. I was gonna give her 6.5. I gave her extra half point because no man dressed like that comes with an empty box. He should have had a slice for at least one of us. You know. So 7 for Dana.
I gave you $1 million.
You gave him $1 million.
I got
Split it with you.
Oh, yes.
yeah, I'll give you $500,000.
Oh, all right, wait a minute.
If we Jerry Garcia, you get the rest of the band.
Oh, nice.
Cash.
I think you could smoke that.
Sally, what do you give Dana?
Yeah, I give you an 8. I thought you were great. I thought you know, Benny does this stuff all the time. And it's and a lot of people just have things in their head to come back at him that have nothing to do with what he says, which, you know, I think roasting, it's fine to do that, but you kind of like listened to what he was saying and came back right away. I thought that was great.
Completely unprepared. Yes.
Very good, very good. So you got 8.
Thanks.
And
Yeah.
Rob Falcone.
And you were picking on the crippled lady.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I gave you a 6.5
Okay.
because I dated a midget. And my penis never looked so big in those little hands. And I'll never forget that look. And I have never seen that look again. And I miss that midget. And you never had to fill the tub up all the way. They float.
They float.
Lord, they float. Oh,
6.5 from Rob Falcone. All right, so Chit Chat, we'll have you sit in the hot seat and give the microphone back to the Gagoots. And so Chit Chat, after watching that, what are you thinking? What's going through your mind right now?
I don't like the Gazooks.
You don't like them?
More or
like
less than
this part of
Christmas.
the show.
I do not like him.
Is it his color
That's so
coordination?
nice. I love you.
Girl.
I love you. I'll cook a nice food for you.
Sure you
Whatever
do.
you want.
You don't want to
I
talk
make-
about your cooking.
I make you a nice Gagoons.
What is it exactly you don't like about the Gagoots?
No, he's sweet. He's I like him.
Very good,
All
very
right, my
good.
husband's out there. Don't let him come in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's always he's a very jealous man.
So, Chit Chat, after watching, now you have an advantage. You've seen the battle. Now, do you have a same strategy going in, or did you change it up a little bit, or what do you think?
No, I actually wrote a couple of things because I've seen him before.
All
So
right.
I kind of
You hang around the pizzeria. Is that right?
You did your homework.
I've been
Okay.
hanging out in his pizzeria.
Excellent. So we're looking forward to this one. Is everyone ready for
Yes.
some insult battling? And here we go. In 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chit Chat Wheeler. That sounds like the name of someone who runs a bordello on a riverboat. The Unproud Mary.
Do you kiss your wife with that dead caterpillar over your lip?
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh, your face.
I heard when Santa goes down your chimney, it's for a quickie.
Wow.
And I heard when your wife says, "Come on, let's go upstairs to have sex," you say, "Pick one. I can't do both."
Oh, yeah, you're so loud when you make a love to your husband, your neighbors call you Chitty Chatty Bang Bang.
Something tells me he was waiting for that.
And your wife is so quiet when you make love to her, she says absolutely nothing because you're no good.
Oh.
Oh, you never been with an Italian man. I'd give a free mustache ride if you was a single. Your husband's idea of a happy ending is when you fall asleep early.
Well, that just means my husband did a great job. What does your wife get for a happy ending?
He gets a pizza. He gets a coupon for half the price of pizza. And a receipt. You gave a Santa's reindeer the clap. So whenever his sleigh flies, instead of hearing a ding-a-ling-a-ling, he gets a round of applause.
And you gave Santa reindeers the clap.
Oh.
Put out Rudolph's poor nose.
Chit Chat Wheeler sounds like the name of a race car driver in the Mama Luca 500.
And the gazoots sounds like the gazoots.
Charles plays with the kazoo. Every time you pick your nose, you are losing a brain cell.
You know what they say about Jesus being born in Italy? He couldn't be born there because they couldn't find 3 wise men and a virgin.
Oh.
Then we got a lot of virgins. They're making the olive oil.
Make sure you get in the mic with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can move it to you.
I'm going to have to recycle more jokes.
We got 30 seconds left.
I wasn't born with enough of middle fingers to let you know how I feel right now.
And you're such a bad cook that the roaches in your restaurant use spaghetti to hang themselves.
Oh.
Well, the roaches in your apartment want to exterminate you.
I don't want to say what the roaches in your house want to do.
You stare at frozen juice cans because they say concentrate.
10 seconds.
I got nothing for that one.
You bring everyone a lot of joy when you leave the room.
And time. Very good.
Very good.
Chit Chat, how you feel about that? Was that?
I feel good. It
was that
wasn't too
har-
bad.
Yeah. Was that a little harder than you anticipated?
Yeah,
Or,
because I was trying to keep it to what he was throwing at me. So I didn't use my jokes that I prepared for him.
Oh.
I was trying to keep it with how he came at me.
Which were some of the ones that you left out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's hear some of the ones you left out.
You're making fun of a crippled man.
Oh, this is one. You know, they say men with hair on their face has more fecal matter than a toilet bowl. But I think you have more than a sewage tank. Oh, Jesus.
You kept that in.
You're so dumb, you think an innuendo is an Italian suppository.
Oh, I like that. Hey, that's a true. Hey, you peeking in my bathroom.
See that Chit Chat?
You
Never go
son
off
of a
script, Chit Chat.
dynamite.
You had some good ones.
That's it.
But let's go around. We'll start with Rob Falcone. What do you
I
think?
gave you a 7.5
Very nice.
because I thought, again, you came back with some good zingers. Yes.
Very good.
I also gave you a 7.5 because of the stuff you put back in. And incidentally, about both of you, with the roaches, I smoked all the roaches in there. And that's why I found him funny.
Sally.
I gave you. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with an 8. I thought you were fine. I thought you were good. Nice job.
Thank you. I
Now,
don't like insulting people, but you was all right. I wanted
Well,
to.
that was
very
fun.
good. Give it up for the Gagoots, everybody, for coming out here and doing this thing.
Merry Christmas and a Buon Natale, everybody. Buon
Merry
Natale.
Christmas, Gagoots.
Bavardini, get your doing.
Now, how important is it, Rob?
You're gonna catch a toy.
And close that door all the way, please, Gagoots. Thank you very much, my
Leave
friend.
permanently.
No, we love the Gagoots. He's got to come back out later. We rearranged the studio today to have a 2-shot. So I just let us know in Facebook Live what you think about this new setup with the back room kind of thing, and seeing Gagoots peeking in the door and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're actually trying to get a third GoPro, so hopefully it's such a small room, isn't it? Small when you walk
It's
in
a
here.
very
It looks
small
like
space
looks
and-
so large when you're
But I
watching it
think
on the
this is
show.
more comfortable than being back there.
I think it's
Yeah.
comfortable too. I like it. Yeah. So I
But
think
when we
it's
have the third one, I think it'll be even easier.
so let us know.
Very cozy. Very cozy.
It's warming up a little
It's
bit.
warming up.
Let us know your thoughts there on Facebook Live. But Rob, how important is it to have comebacks prepped and ready in case of hecklers or case of you just want to insult somebody? Or
Well, I think you have to be ready in case somebody gets out of line, because the rest of the audience is going to expect for you to hit back. So you have to have something, and there are different levels of doing it. I knew a comedian that, when he was a very good comedian, he was exceptional, and when somebody would be out of line, he would just say simply, "Excuse me, but I'll tell you why it's bothersome to me. It's like if you were having sex and I was at the foot of your bed going, that's how distracting you are." That's the nice way of putting in line. Then you have to go to the other extreme, which is the classic, "Pal, I don't slap dicks out of your mouth when you're working. Please, let me do my job."
And when you do something like that, when you come back with a comeback, do you know? Most of the time the heckler stops, right?
I usually like to find out how big they are before I answer
Good
back.
idea. Very good idea.
Yes, because I'm a runner. Yes.
You're fight or flight. You're in flight.
Believe it or not, running is the oldest form of self-defense, and I am proficient in it for very short distances.
That's awesome, and I think that is a good gauge of it. How big is the guy or the woman out there?
You have to be careful. You don't want the person that is out of line not knowing that they might have Tourette's, that there might be something physically wrong with them. So you have to be careful. I'll tell you the truth. The best tactic I find is you don't pay attention to them. If they do call something out, talk over it. Because then what happens is you put them in an embarrassing situation at their table. Whoever they're with, they become embarrassed now because you're not answering to it. You're not bringing them in.
Right, yeah.
You keep it. And then if it gets crazy, hopefully it is not our job. It is the job of the club to have somebody come over and say to the person, "This is not right."
Yeah, they should take care of it.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
time
The
I
third
watched
is you
Jackie.
shoot them.
Right, no kidding. One time I watched Jackie Martland do a stand-up, and a man, he stood up and he announced that, "Jackie, now it's time for me to go to the bathroom," and he's like, "So could you hold on for a minute?" And Jackie
like to mess with him.
he told absolutely, and then he told like a few bathroom jokes and jokes that like we might have like not gotten the first time. And then the guy came back, he was like, "Now you're okay," and we thought it was like part of the show. And then after the show, Jackie's like, "What the fuck was
But
that?"
see, he did a beautiful
But he
thing
was
by
so
including
smooth
them in.
about it.
And somebody that gets up and says, "I'm going to the bathroom,"
They just wanna
I
be
could
included.
use that.
Yeah.
That to me would be so much. That's a blessing to a comic. A heckler, somebody who gets out of line, is not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun at all.
Yeah, if they're
You're not
sloppy
funny,
drunk
make
or
me
yeah.
laugh or that kind of shit. Yeah, I could. I've never had to deal with. I did stand up for a very short period of time before I realized I can't. I suck at it. But I never had to deal with a
I
heckler.
bet you're a good painter, though.
I was good.
I just throw it out.
Yeah. But I never wanted to be in that scenario because I didn't know how I would handle it.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It could turn the whole. That's why I really think it's the job of the club to have somebody go up to them, and because it puts you in a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
You have to break. Somebody like me, I have to break character, and me is not too pleasant. So it changes the whole atmosphere.
Right,
of the
you don't want to
room.
ruin the vibe of
Yeah,
the room.
because I'm going up there as a character. I'm going up there as Rob Falcone, the stand-up comedian. You know, not Rob Falcone, the guy who used to, whack people back in the.
Back in the day.
The real Rob
confessed
Falcone.
on the
But listen,
radio
listen.
that he's a
You
murderer.
had to put bread on the table, So
Yeah,
all right,
yeah, you
so
had to-
fault me, but,
Now, guys, Gordon, how would you feel if you were in the hot seats right now, knowing now next, after all these rounds, the next round is their 3-minute stand-up routine?
How would I feel?
Yeah, like if you had to do 3 minutes right now in this room.
Very easy. Well, I'm better than them, like, cause I'm the judge, and they're the people who need my approval. So I'm already ahead of them. I'm already.
You're very
you know what the
comfortable.
sad part about it is?
Superior.
I've
all
worked
about
to
him.
this little
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
Yes, on a Saturday.
So for
Yes.
me, I would say I'd be fine. They're in trouble, but I'd be fine. Probably even better than them.
Sally, what do you think so far about these two, their performances, and now the anticipation of their 3-minute sets?
Ah, gosh. Well,
Boy,
it is.
putting
It
you on
is
the
kind
spot,
of.
Sal.
It is kind of interesting
You know, there's weeding
how you
answers. I gave it to
yeah,
you.
right. To watch you guys in the first half of the show because it's so nerve wracking and like you're both like comfortable now, so it's like a good time to do this. Like rock it out.
I'm not comfortable now. This is the worst.
Yeah,
part.
you are. How is it the worst part? Because this is kind of like a little bit of your stand up, right? So that you should be more comfortable with this. No.
No.
Well, now that you're comfortable here, right, it
I'm
should be
comfortable
easier.
It's still freezing.
It's weird.
But I have to remember my set.
It's weird because there's no like audience.
Yeah, there's no real like audience. It's a room full of judges. This is what it's like
Which
at
is
the
very
audition.
hard.
If you ever have to audition, this
This is
is
like
what's
an
Yes.
Yeah.
When you have to audition for like America's
show.
Got Talent and stuff like
You
that,
got to do it for two people.
this is like what it
Yeah,
is.
this
It's
is-
a
Yeah,
good.
but you get up. I normally when I go on sage, I'm usually by myself before I go on.
Yeah.
So I'm running my.
Well, would you
set
like to
through my
take a
head.
walk around the block? We got time.
You want a moment of time to
You could
meditate.
just face the wall and pretend you're alone.
What I
No, I swear to God, when I walked in, I
No,
said
so
to
I have to
myself,
remember
my God, Anthony
everything now.
Domenico
I'm
lost so
looking
much
at
weight.
remember.
No, I wouldn't see. By the way, I was
does, right?
I was never heckled. By the way,
Nice.
I just want.
Same
I was
here.
never
It
heckled
does.
myself ever. Everyone always thought I was great, and they never heckled me.
If I ever got heckled like this, I wouldn't do it.
I got heckled for like 9 minutes straight.
Did you really?
Open mic.
Why did you?
Somebody
stand
was
there
nine
without-
minutes.
Because nobody
Straight.
called me off. He didn't call me off.
What I
I
want to
got
know
no
is what
light.
open mic gives you 9 minutes?
Vintage Blonde on Wednesday.
And who lets you a heckler go for 9 minutes?
it
it's
was
an open
it was
micer.
hodgepodge and ridiculous. And
Was
I
it another
I
comic?
know, I know
no,
that
it was
spot.
a drunk patron, and
Wow.
I was
Fella with the beard.
Yeah.
His name was Steve. He's a plumber,
Yeah,
and that's all I
Steve
know
the
about.
plumber. I've been to that place.
Yeah,
I've
really?
been vintage in Wausau.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. What you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
Just
God.
goes up and
Oh,
heckles.
yeah.
He's-
Steve the plumber, you're an asshole.
Check your guns at the door kind of
Well,
thing.
it's kind of like the place. I have this problem with a bunch of places. There's not a lot of female comics on Long Island, so oftentimes I find myself the lone female
You know,
in a place like the Vintage,
years
where
ago there were comedy clubs in Brooklyn
really.
that were excellent.
What happened
One
to
of them was called Pips.
Pips is the
Well,
famous
that's
one.
where
That's
I
Hoppers.
went there.
That's rough. That's a rough
One was,
spot.
another one was called Toppers. Now in Pips especially, which was on Sheepshead Bay back then,
Amitabh.
you learned you had to have your
They
chops.
talk back
when
to
you
you.
worked.
Oh yeah.
But when
And
you
it's a
work in a
closed
comedy
place.
club in Brooklyn, you have to be real careful about who you say to who in the audience, because you don't know who is going to be in that idiot or whose his father is. And one night there was a time where
I always forget to care
this
about that.
guy was talking to his girlfriend, and the comic said, "Hey, pal, can you shut the fuck up and try?" And the guy looked at him and went, "Just shut the fuck up and do your act, all right? Don't let me have to come up there." And it was like, okay, yeah, I'll just do the act now. And
Yeah.
Good night,
Yeah.
folks.
you don't know. You
I
don't
was-
know. In Brooklyn, you didn't know who
I was in a
was,
show
and
where a
you-
guy pulled a knife on a guy.
You have to be
at
very
the show.
careful.
Like
Damn.
the guy got up and did that. It wasn't my set. Once again, never heckled myself. Everyone always loved me. But this fella got a. It was at a bar place, but it was on 92nd Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn. And the guy got mad at him and he jumped up on stage
my
and put a
God.
knife.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've
Yeah.
never done nothing
Yeah.
that
It's
bad's
tough.
ever happened
You
yet.
You want to go home
I
and take a
first-
bath after that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm used to that. I'm just not used to peak hour tickets. I'm
Yeah.
I'm used to Brooklyn, not Long Island. But
Well, Suffolk County is could be pretty rough at times too. It's a big difference between Suffolk County audiences and Nassau
Nassau?
County audiences.
Is it?
They really are. They're both great. Don't get me wrong. They're phenomenal. McGuire's is absolutely the best, but they could be a little bit more rednecky out there.
Oh yeah. Well, it's Suffolk.
Yeah, they could be.
That's where I used to
But if you're
perform.
funny,
You get through.
you don't get. You know.
Yeah, like even with the
and
hecklers, everyone was
carry
laughing
a
still.
weapon
Did you
showable.
say anything back to me?
Yes.
Yeah, but then I realized he
Yes.
was very drunk, and as like the only female there, I didn't have my friends with me. I didn't want to go too hard at him because he was drunk. And
Hopefully, there's somebody in the
So-
room that.
Oh,
could
no, there was.
correct
It
that.
was-
Yeah.
Vintage is
It's
a very
not our
small
job.
place.
no, yeah,
You know, it's just it's a bar with an area that they've designated.
and
Yeah.
like half of the
Those are
lights
tough.
work
Those are rough.
sometimes.
Those
because
are
the
rough
people are still
rooms.
sitting at the bar talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
they're
those
not
are
gonna-
those are
Yeah,
rough.
and they're not
The-
going to watch.
The worst
Yeah.
spot I ever played in Brooklyn was the same 92nd Fort Hamilton place where they pulled a knife. But it wasn't because of that. It was because we did the show in the bar during the Subway series, and they didn't shut the game
forget it.
off.
No,
They didn't shut the
that's-
game off.
And you better not.
So
tell
I
them-
thought I
Yeah,
made
no,
a great
yeah.
joke, but it's just the Yankees
Yeah.
scored. You know?
My last
thought
show,
you were
I
killing
went
I
up.
thought I was killing, but it was the Yankees. Then I thought I was doing bad because it was the Mets.
Yeah.
No, well, my last show I got put up. It was my friend's birthday show. She puts me up during cake,
Oh
and
god.
you can't compete with cake.
I've had
No, that's tough.
shows.
That's
I panicked. I was like,
I've
Happy
had
birthday
catered
while you're showing
shows
your
where they
show.
say to me, Rob, after the dinner, we figure the best time for you to go up is when we serve the cake.
no.
It's like, do you want me to come out of the cake? I mean, you can't pick a worse time.
Right?
It's like, why don't you just... No, I want to go on during the prime rib. So I really then feel like I want to put the Luger to my head.
Or they
I
hold
want
the
to go on during
dinner.
the exchanging of vows.
Yeah. Or they hold the dinner and they make them wait while you go on, and then people are starving and angry.
Yeah, all they want is the food.
Nothing
yeah.
makes you want cake
What
more
you
than
don't
hearing
want to
about
do is you
polio
don't
and
want to go
stuff.
up after the MC
Right? I was like,
says,
what are you doing?
just before you go up, you don't want the MC to say, and while I have you here, folks, can we please just take a moment of silence
Yeah.
for the family that
Yeah.
got killed last
I hate
night
that.
on
Oh, my
35.
And then after that,
Yes.
ladies and
That's
gentlemen,
a
Rob
real
Elkins.
comedy
Ladies and
styling
gentlemen,
up.
please welcome a powerhouse, a real fireball.
We did a comedy
And coming up
show.
next, a fellow who's still alive. And speaking of dead, he's not.
We did a comedy
He's
show.
gonna kill tonight.
Right.
And just before we started, a man got up there and started showing pictures of children that were like infected with Lyme disease,
that's
and,
okay.
Oh,
and
my
it was
God.
like
And now the buffet.
and can you please give to these children? And this is an organization, and certainly we wanted to and cared, but and then like,
Right.
all right, now the show. We were like,
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's very hard to
Worse than
follow.
that is like them going
You
up
gotta
and saying,
pick the spirits
this is
back
why
up,
you
Sally."
don't want to eat meat, and show cows having their heads
Yeah.
bashed.
Oh man.
You were supposed to pick their spirits
Comedy
up
is a
after
very
that.
serious business.
Comedy can be
It
tough.
is. Comedy is a very serious... And when we're off stage, we're not all... See, people think that you're funny all the time.
no, yeah.
And they want to show them that they're funny too.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
They
You
wanna
could put this
share.
in your skit,
Yeah.
Dana.
You never
I
go
say.
to you never say to a doctor, you could use this.
You could use this.
You know,
This is a
but
left ventricle.
People come up to comics and say, You got a minute? I got something I want to
That's so funny.
You could use this,
Yeah,
too.
you could use this.
Oh, I can give you some jokes if you want to pay me for them. I was like, why do I need
I mean,
your
we're
jokes?
just like regular
Yeah.
people. When we cut, do we not bleed? I mean, we are like regular
Off stage,
people.
though, I'm still hilarious.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's where
Great.
they all.
It's all about
Well,
you.
Impossible
my friend
to
doesn't-
not like.
My friend does a bit about how he tried to put somebody's stuff in his act once and he doesn't do it anymore because that stuff killed and there's nothing worse than when somebody else
Somebody else's
jokes.
stuff. Well, they say everyone's a comedian, and that's the point there. And everybody thinks they can do it until they.
Humor
actually-
is
We'll
relative.
see tonight.
And we'll see which one has what it takes and which one has what it ain't.
fucking
But I
very
will say
This is
that I think Chit Chat, you're going first.
Yes, she is.
I think you have.
Is it possible?
Yes, you have the likability factor right out of the gates. I think you have your voice. I love your sultry delivery.
Sultry.
So I think I'm looking forward to seeing your act right now. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock.
I'm taking
Oh yeah,
another
read
gum.
the instructions. Are you ready? Round 4. This is when performing stand-up comedy, comedians. Oops, wrong one. My bad. This is the round we've all been waiting for. This is where we get to see the best 3 minutes that each comedian has. This is the best of their stand-up sets. This will show us their skills that pay the bills. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go with Chit Chat Wheeler.
Be
Okay,
funny.
guys. So I did my 23andMe, and I want a refund. First of all, they tell me I'm 13% African. Wow. Like I didn't know that. Then it says I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But the catch is they say I'm 71% Norwegian. Yeah, right. And I don't believe that. But right now, I could be the total opposite of Sammy Sosa. He's the whitest black man, and I could be the blackest white woman. But I think I need to see his dermatologist because I need the complexion for the connection. He's staring right at me. He's making me nervous. He's just like right on my eyes. So, yeah. So I decided that I was going to become a skinny white girl. I don't have the color, but I can get the physique. So I hired a trainer and a nutritionist, like white people do. But I knew it wasn't going to last long because they said it takes dedication and hard work. And black people gave up hard work the day slavery ended. But I'm going to fire this trainer because he had me running on this treadmill next to this skinny white girl, and she was going 90 miles an hour, not missing a beat. And I'm going 90 miles a minute, breathing like I was about to pass out. And he over there in the corner, chit chat, push yourself. Do you want to be a quitter? Yes, I do. He thought he was motivating somebody. But what I realized, it was obvious he didn't know anybody black. Because black people would quit a job after the first paycheck. We get on the phone. Yes, I'm sorry, this job just isn't working out. Why? 8 hours is a bit too long. And that nutritionist, she soon followed. She told me the best way to lose weight is to work out, drink water, and sweat. I said, then I should be a size 2. I drink water like a camel, and I sweat like a pig. This bee said, and you're the same size as a camel and a pig.
Ooh.
That's what I said. But she's lucky I'm 71% Norwegian because that 13% African girl would have called Shanika and them, and they would have came down there and handled her.
And time.
Oh, really? That was 3 minutes.
That was great. That was 2:20. You did great, though. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Great job.
Chit Chat Wheeler, ladies and gentlemen, with her comedy stylings. That was a great set. I really enjoyed that. The whole premise of that and everything else really worked out. We will start with going in. What do you think about Chit Chat's best 3 minutes?
I thought that the premise was good and the story was good the way it flowed and the way you told it. I think there's more there.
There
I
was
think
more.
but I think there's a couple of more things jokes along the way that could be hit to make that a little stronger story. This is my actual honest answer instead of being silly. So I'm gonna give you. You're gonna hate this. I'm giving you a 6.8, Sally. I'm sorry. No, but I'm gonna hate the 0.8. 6.8. 6.8. I think that the story and your personality is really good, and I think there's a couple of things there that need to be thrown in along the way, a couple of jokes along the way to make it stronger. But it's a good story.
Sally, what do you got for Chit Chat?
I gave you a 7. I think, I thought it was good, and kind of the same thing. I think maybe just, and I've actually seen your material up there, and so it is.
I had to change it for 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it's you killed it. Like when you were on the stage, it's a difficult scene in here, you know. So but I like your premises and. You know, it's difficult to like wrap it all up into like a couple of minutes, but it's good.
Excellent. 7 from Sally, and on to.
I gave you a 47 because the number 47 is funny. That's all. I gave you a 7 because I think it was very good that you actually took one topic and went 3 minutes with it, which is pretty. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And there is stuff to grow there. There is stuff, but you didn't just do joke. You kept on one storyline and had jokes in that storyline.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Chit Chat Wheeler, everyone. All right. Now we move on to Dana McAllister.
You're in the hot seat, girl.
Dana is in the hot seat. Ladies and gentlemen, with her best 3 minutes, Dana McAllister.
Hey! All right, so everybody who's been listening kind of knows I have polio. I got polio from the vaccine. You all have smartphones. You can figure out what it is or ask your grandmothers because nobody gets it anymore. Being disabled, weird people say weird things to you. I've been told in the middle of Taco Bell that I'm inspiring people. I don't know how. One woman said, if I had what you had, I would kill myself. To which I replied, I would too, but I cannot climb up to the rafters, nor do I have the hand strength to tie a noose. I always struggled a little bit with my self-esteem, so my mom tried to help me with that. And by help me with that, I mean this lady put me in the games for the physically challenged. I'm assuming everyone knows what that is. Mm-hmm. You don't know what that is. You know the Special Olympics, because the retards get the good names. And I have to run. For real, they think they're playing tag. They don't know what they're doing. And I have to explain to all my friends to come to the games for the physically challenged to watch me in the 200-meter dash, which my mother put me in for my self-esteem. So let me set the scene for you guys. It's me and my father. I'm 10 years old. I'm a 135. I'm the youngest one in Weight Watchers. So it's me and my father. And then there's this little boy. He's a black boy. It matters. It's relevant. And he has a prosthetic, and it's him and his grandmother. So I don't know where this wild burst of confidence comes from. But I look at this kid, and I was like, well, at least I have a leg more than him. And I'm very naive. So I look at him confident. Eat my dust. Next thing I know, my dad's looking at me like, what the hell did you just say? But the gun goes off. This kid and his bionic leg took off like a bat out of hell. And that is when I learned that race matters in a race, no matter what kind. Also with my disability, I was able to explore some new kinks that I wouldn't have otherwise known. I have a foot fetish. I want new ones. These ones just aren't cutting it. I've seen a lot. I order pictures online. I just want to see what they look like. You can wear heels? Can't wear heels. What else? There's some polio perks I have to dating me. One is we get great parking for our dates. There are some polio problems too. I always need to make sure that the person I'm with has enough strength to get me off the ground, you know? And it's really difficult to find a gym rat with a cripple fetish, you know? I don't know. So if anybody knows of any, other than that, another polio perk I have, I'm oddly flexible. You know, it's not that I don't have feeling, but like I can just bend a little extra, you know what I mean? That's what God gave me instead of legs, and that is my time, I think.
That is right
Thank
on
you.
the money. Dana McAllister. All right, judges. We'll start with Sally and work our way around here. Sally, what do you think of Dana's comedy, hilarity, stylings?
I gave you a 7. I thought it was really good. I thought you stuck to your time, which was good. Your material is something you've worked with for a while, and you know it's fairly strong. Do you do when you do stand up? Is it all just or do you mix it around with anything else? I'm just curious. I haven't seen you.
It's mostly my disability stuff. I've started branching off into my drug addiction, and I do a small bit on serial killers and how those they have the groupies have the right idea.
Just children's shows, mostly children's shows.
Yeah.
Birthday parties?
Yeah.
Sesame Street.
Yeah,
Birthday parties.
I was just curious, because I have no business telling you how to do stand up, but maybe because from what I've seen when you become a comic that works a lot, your minutes are more. You have more minutes, so maybe just touch at it after a while,
Right.
and kind of come up with material that you can just hit back at.
Cool.
Very good.
Thanks.
Rob Falcone.
I gave you an 8
Cool.
because you're only doing it how long
Since February?
Since February, not even a year yet.
No.
And from what I saw here, your stage presence must be phenomenal. You're bright. You don't seem to be afraid. And I think you're going to grow. I think you're going to grow a lot.
Thanks. Unlike the midgets.
Yes.
It's a callback.
And if you can, give me 2 5s, not a 10.
Okay. It's a 5 and 5 singles?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay,
too.
perfect.
Makes me look thicker. No, I really think you have a very good brightness and a presence that
Thanks.
if you could do it in here, you could do it on the stage.
Thanks.
Good stuff right there. Now we'll move on to the Goonin.
I was
The
giving you a 7, but then you made one more final insult to the midget, so I gave you a 7.5.
That was after.
No, that was good. I
Those
gave
midgets
you
are
extra.
going a long way tonight, aren't they?
I
They
like
are
that.
angry. They are
Give me
laying
my
on
gun.
Don't
back.
feed them after midnight. But I thought it was really tight. You had your story down. You basically talked about one topic too, but you branched it out into different things. But it was about yourself, and you had a lot of jokes in there, throwing them in there. So, and how long did you say you were doing it?
Since February.
Since February.
Not even a year. Isn't that
Wow.
amazing?
Keep it up.
Very good.
Thanks.
I think
Yes.
both ladies had great
I think
sets.
both
Yeah.
They made it through all 4
both have
rounds.
very good potential.
Yes.
Very
Thank
good
you.
potential.
And you guys are on the road to hilarity.
And
uh,
alcoholism.
and
because
Already
a really
there.
rough life of,
yes.
of always being broke.
A year in comedy and sobriety. It's really rough.
I have
There
a
you
real
go.
job.
Both
And there's
simultaneously.
no narcissism in this business whatsoever.
He has
So
The
please visit
Gagoots-
my website.
The Gagoots has tallied up the scores here, and we will now find out who is our winner for tonight's game.
I think it's very.
It's a
close.
Christmas time. It took me a while because it's hard to write a score with the Roman numerals. Takes a long time. Anyway, Chit Chat Wheeler got a 90.8,
Wow.
which is the temperature of my blood. The temperature of my blood in this room. You can freeze ice cream in here. I got 2 snowballs behind my zipper. But I'm sorry, the winner, she's a Dana for 94.
Dana
it was close.
And
McAllister.
Dana McAllister, you win. And here you win a nice ornament.
Yes.
What is he
Chit
winning?
Chat for you.
Thank you. That was so much fun.
Chit Chat, since you're the loser, you get a $1 million you can't spend it nowhere. With Jerry Garcia. But like he said, you can smoke that.
Thank you both of you.
Not
Chit
giving you your
Chat
gum
Wheeler,
back.
Dana
Very good.
McAllister, thank you again.
Thank you, everybody. Merry
Before we
Christmas.
end the show, let's just go around to our judges and see what they got to plug here. What do you got coming up, Mr. Falcone?
New Year's, I'll be in North Babylon at the Argyle Theater. And in January, I'll be up in Poughkeepsie at Laugh It Up Comedy. And the phone is available for calls.
And check out your website.
Check out my website, robfalcone.com. And you could always see me in reruns of a lot of TV
The
shows.
Sopranos.
I have Sopranos. It was a short scene, but a powerful scene. Yes.
And I have seen your reel online. You got some good stuff. Very
Please
impressive.
go anytime. Please visit and help yourself to looking at all the other jazz.
The Great Goonin, what do you got coming up, my friend?
So Tune In to Goonin's going to be coming back. Please check out Tune In to Goonin on YouTube, and you could follow me on Facebook at The Charles Goonin, and I'm also connected to the Put Up and Shut Up show, so we could all get connected through there. There'll be more shows coming soon, and I'm in that web series Bromance. Check that out at Art City online.
He's a good-looking guy with a Frank Sinatra voice.
There you go.
Sally, what do you got cooking?
Well, the pipes froze in our house the other day, so I showered today. That was really good.
Nice.
We
Very
were
nice
all.
for showering.
It was getting a little gamey in there with
that
4
was.
teenagers.
Well, thank you, everybody. That is our show for tonight. I want to thank both our contestants for coming on.
It was very close.
Yes. And, of course, thank you to our judges. What a blast it has been. And make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. And also, if you're interested in being on the show, email us at putupshutup@gmail.com. Also, make sure you come out to Governor's Comedy Club and support live stand-up comedy, because there's no better place to see stand-up than to see it live at Governor's or any of the Governor's locations, which is McGuire's and also the Brokerage. And check out all their stuff on govs.com.
Very true.
Yes,
very true.
indeed. And I'm Don Sill, and on behalf of everyone here, I want to say thank you, good night, and always be funny, everybody. Yes!
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Kwanzaa, Happy
Yes.
Hanukkah.
Take care, everyone.
Good job.
That was all.